What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's
Good.
happening?
Hey.
Everybody good? I know I'm over here. I am sharing everything because I just, tonight is going to be great. I don't want anyone to miss the discussion tonight. None of the discussions. Man, we be having some deep conversations on here. What y'all think?
Yes. And that's a good thing.
How was it for you, Rob? You was in the audience when last week. How was that for you? What you thought? What did you think about the show?
Man, I'm just glad that you consistent with it. First of all, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That you every week you find a way to present something to the people,
Yeah.
and you've been keeping it. You know, the everything been solid. Solid interviews. You got some young. I always like hearing from the younger brothers and sisters, and seeing. I always love to hear when we got some strong youth and some strong young brothers and sisters out there. So that's what I've been appreciating about your interviews is you bringing a lot of them to the forefront.
All right. Thank you. So, just want to welcome everybody. Some of you all may not have given StreamYard permission. So it says Facebook user. So if you can, drop who you are. We can't. It just says Facebook user. We don't know who it is. We want to shout you out. So, thank you all for tuning in right now. Welcome to Bounceback Wednesdays. I'm your host, Jamila Hanif.
Fatima Honey.
Not all at once, okay?
Right.
That's Fatima Hanif on Iman Hanif.
We are the Hanif
And our
sisters.
right. And our special guest, Mr. Rob Reason.
Welcome, Rob. Welcome, Rob.
So feel so honored to be here on the show with you ladies. Everybody's looking good. Look like y'all feeling good. So I'm ready to go.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for accepting the invite. What made you accept the invite?
First of all, me and you've been bumping into each other here and there, and always talking about doing something. So it just was bound to happen. I was just waiting for the invite. You just never sent the invite.
Okay, we got you here. Thank you. I know your folks is probably tuning in right now. I want to remind everybody to be sure to like, love, share, tag somebody. The discussions we have are so serious, y'all. They're just discussions that need to be had. They're discussions that make people feel uncomfortable. Some of you may hear something that you may need to check out. Take a minute to center yourself, take some deep breaths or whatever you need to do, and and return because yeah, man, it's deep. So we use this platform to raise awareness about ACEs. ACEs is an acronym for Adverse Childhood Experiences. Some people are visual, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something on the screen. It may not, the person may not represent us, but it is what it is. Y'all can see this?
Yep.
How it look? Is it big? Like, I don't know how it look. It's cool.
It's somewhat
cool.
big.
And then you can make it bigger if you wanted to.
I wish I could, but this is what we got. So right here, understanding ACEs. ACEs is an acronym for Adverse Childhood Experiences. These ACEs are serious childhood traumas that can result in toxic stress. Toxic stress, because of the adverse childhood experiences, is trauma. Trauma creates toxic stress. Toxic stress can create chronic illnesses if these exposures are prolonged. They can damage the developing brain and body of children and affect overall health. And so I'm serious. I'm a child and family advocate. I am doing all I can do to raise awareness about ACEs so that we can create some protective environments for our children. So, man, this toxic stress, it may prevent children from learning or playing in a healthy way with other children. Some children don't. You can't play in the sandbox with them. Some children hit, kick. I mean, you never know what's going on because there are underlying issues. There are things that are going on in the household. Can somebody read the bottom part, y'all? One of y'all, about what the ACEs are, what they include?
Okay, ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, can include abuse, emotional, one being abuse, emotional, physical, or sexual, bullying, violence of or by another sibling, child, sibling, or an adult,
Mhm.
homelessness, household substance abuse, mental illness, domestic violence, incarceration, parental abandonment, divorce and loss,
Mhm.
involvement in child welfare system,
Mhm.
medical trauma, natural disasters and wars, neglect, being emotional or physical, racism, sexism, or another form of discrimination, violence in the community.
And so, someone with these aces, with most of these aces, I probably have out of all of these, probably like 12 out of 15 of them. And then, someone with this trauma, they're always in survival mode. The survival mode responds if you see right there in the lower right hand. In the orange, it says toxic stress increases a child's heart rate, blood pressure, breathing, and muscle tension. Their thinking brain is knocked off, they're knocked offline, and self-protection is the priority because you knocked offline because you don't have connection to your I'm trying to get back to this. I'm here. Okay. It get knocked off. You don't have access to your prefrontal cortex, which is your thinking part of your brain. So it's like you flip your lid. So it's like you offline, and it's like you have to be able to regulate to be able to get back to, get back in the Bruce Banner mode and not in Hawk mode. Yeah.
Right.
So anyways, what's up with Rob though? You on mute.
You on mute.
On mute.
Hold
Oh,
on.
my
And
bad.
then let me say
I
this.
heard bouncing. My son was bouncing the back ball in the background, so I don't want to interrupt your spiel.
How old is he?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do what he want to do. No.
Yeah.
Let me say this, Jamila, bouncing back off what you were just speaking of about us being and it's interesting because when we experience this, a lot of us, even when something isn't, harmful to us or anything, like we just react in a negative manner instead of thinking of the positive manner first. It's always a negative outlook first over the positive outlook. And it's interesting
Right.
because you really have to be patient with yourself, and you can reprogram it, reprogram it in order to get better, but it definitely takes practice and consistency and time.
Yeah. Just thinking about the mode you in, right? And how you respond to things if something is a threat. So earlier today, probably like 2 hours ago, yeah, my son was like, "Mom," he said, if I tell you something, can you promise not to get upset?" I was like, "Well, what happened?" He said, "I went in a room. I left Mina's tank cracked open a bit, and she got out."
What's Mina?
Mina is his snake. Okay.
Oh,
Snake slither out of her tank.
the snake.
Oh my gosh.
Did y'all find it?
Yeah, we ended up finding it.
okay.
I was hot because I'm threatened. It's a snake. Like, I don't know where it's at. You're on punishment for the rest of the year.
I seen him out with that snake somewhere before too.
At the resource fair.
Yeah.
Man, that snake, y'all. Oh my gosh. And so then I'm having him move everything. Get your clothes out the drawer, shake it, put it in the bag. And then I went to move the tank. And I had set it down because I wanted to move his dresser. Then I looked back and then the snake right there. I yelled at the top of my lungs.
Poor Brandon. How's my son? Is he okay?
He's good. He feel better.
Right.
He just felt relieved that we found the snake. I thought about that snake.
You acting like it's the first time you seen a snake.
That's what I'm saying. The threat response.
So dramatic.
It was just like, I'm talking. I screamed at the top, and the snake is shedding, y'all. So it's getting bigger.
Oh yeah, that's how it goes.
I'm like,
What kind of snake is it?
It's a what is it?
A python.
A python.
Yeah. Anyways, Rob, to our guests, where you from? Tell them where you from.
Native Vallejo. I'm from the Crest. like a couple people. I seen a couple of my crest partners and childhood and OG crest partners up on your platform. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, they had Lando. Um, who else was on here?
Uh,
Lamont. What you was about
Shiggity,
to say,
I call him Shiggity. That my little bro Shiggity, but that was Sean Wilson with the Fresh Prince.
Sean? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Our brother. What you gonna say, Fatima?
Rob, you was at the resource fair?
yeah, I was there.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't see. Maybe we passed by each other. I can't wait to meet you in person. I really need to come try some food because your food be looking, real
Okay,
good.
yeah. I'll make sure I keep all my updated menus to you.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
Yes,
y'all had
please.
met in person. But all right, let's get into this. Let's get into this conversation. Rob. Adverse childhood experiences. Did you take the? When was the first time you heard about ACEs?
First time I heard about ACEs was from you when I first met you, and we was talking about what we was doing and what our purposes was and all of that good stuff, and you kind of broke the ACEs down to me then, and yeah, we just haven't had a chance to really follow up on it since then, but I'm glad you kind of went over it at the beginning because it freshened my mind on on everything. So the importance of the ACEs now I'm freshened back up and remember what it was all about.
Okay. And you took the ACEs questionnaire.
I did.
So, how did you feel about it? What was your score, and how did you feel about it when you was reading the questions?
My score was kind of, I don't know, my score don't feel like a true score because I tried to answer it like academically and be like politically correct with my answers. So it was like a lot of it, almost all of them I can relate to because I just grew up with friends or a family member or whatever, that might have been incarcerated or this, that, or what have you, but it might not have been directly in my household. Like they didn't live with me every day. So
Mm-hmm.
I put no on a lot of stuff like that. But so I only scored like a 2, but I've been through and experienced a lot, just about everything on that list.
Mm-hmm. So your score may be higher because it does. Look, if I was to do the whole thing all over again, because it's the exposure, it's the experience. We
Right,
talk about traumatic events. It's the way your body feels, and the intensity, the frequency of it.
right.
Um, I believe that it just doesn't have to happen in your household. It can happen in your community. It can happen in your
Right.
schools. I mean, just in Oakland, was a 12-year-old just shot another kid?
Right.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that anymore?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, see, it's traumatizing for you probably. I wonder the way your body felt when you just heard that. How did you feel?
Man, I mean, I have teenage boys, 14 and 16, and I know that the music they listen to and the things that they see on the internet and stuff, I'm always, I'm not gonna lie, very protective of them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I take them to school and pick them up.
Okay. What did you heard about it, Rob?
I didn't hear. I always hear about those scenarios, which is sad. I didn't hear about that one in particular. But just to piggyback on what Amon said, because she was said something that's like extremely important to me. Uh, Accountability is a word that get thrown around a lot. Everybody these days is people need to be accountable, but everybody wants to put point the finger and hold somebody else accountable before they take the action of holding themselves accountable first. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I feel like that's one of the biggest problems in our community is that
Mm-hmm.
people aren't accepting the fact that we need to be more accountable as parents, as members of the community, as all that. Like the mind said, we need to be more protective and we need to be conscious of what we expose to our children, how we communicate to our children, how we express ourselves to our children, how we relate, how we talk to other people, and how we present ourselves. All that stuff makes a big difference. And I think that we get so hung up on wanting to point our fingers and talk about what the next person ain't doing and what they need to be doing. instead of focusing on what we can
On
control,
ourselves.
which is yourself. You know what I'm saying? And try to figure yourself out and heal first. You know what I mean? And I just feel like if every person, if 1 out of every 10 people did that, then that'd make the world a halfway better place.
Sure
Right.
would.
Check ourselves.
Sure
Check
would.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
People want
Because
people
we
be quick to want to check somebody else, but don't want to check themselves.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And we the only ones that we can control. We can only control ourselves,
Exactly.
but people always want to control somebody else and what they doing and how they doing it. But how are you doing it?
I'm
Exactly.
controlling everything.
Right. And I was and a lot of that was in my childhood. Like I was sometimes my, not to say nothing bad about my family, because I actually was raised in a decent family. But it was the area we lived in, the ghetto, and I didn't have my dad wasn't really around, so I kind of had to figure a lot of things out on my own. You know what I'm saying? Just growing up in the ghetto and being the only man, I was like the man of the house. I had all women in the house, so I always felt like I was the man of the house, so I couldn't be no punk, and I had to make sure that that I was gonna be respected, and I had to find my way. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just, you could get lost, like I said, in what your partners is out there like that. Like I said, I didn't have, so I had to get my game and get my lessons from older peers and the OGs and stuff, and the rappers, the Mac Dre's and the Doobies, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, they was the ones teaching us how to be what they thought men was supposed to be.
Got
You
the
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm a purple car. Here come the girl niggas. No, all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. So yeah, but anyways, I just try to be more focused on now, be more conscious, because I was a young father. I had my first kid at 16 years old.
Oh.
And then so that made me have to grow up real fast, because I always wanted to be a real dad. I didn't want it to be what I didn't have for my son. So, and just being a young father though and going through stuff, it was a real rough ride, and I learned, I just learned that, man, things rub off on kids. Like it's generational. Like I said, we got to be more present and aware of what we expose our kids to. I was young and I exposed my kids to certain things. I rapped and I talked about certain things and let my kids listen to that. And it was times as a young father, because I've been like a single father for the most most part, with girls on top of that. So sometimes I melt down. You know what I'm saying? And I've been through all of that. So I just try to make myself be more present in the moment. And just be aware that what I'm saying, like your kids is like they looking up to you and soaking all that in. So if you letting certain things be cool to them at home, then when they go out, it's just gonna be second nature. You feel me? But if you being protective, you ain't letting them listen to certain things. You ain't letting them talk certain ways to adults and stuff like that. When they're at the house, they know they can't do that at home. You could probably go out and do that when you out there, but you wasn't raised like that. You know what I'm saying? You know that we don't do that. You was taught better than that. So I'm just trying to be more present and try to, teach my kids how to, I'm trying to be a better example. I put it that way for kids. Yeah.
Right.
For you, Rob. Good for you. That's good. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, why would I know? How would I know unless you said something? But this is what I love about the platform, though. Like, for sure, I feel like I'm about to cry. You feel like you was about to cry or something? Because I just be feeling like I be feeling stuff.
You probably just a crier.
Blame it on something else, but yeah. So
that just means that you spiritually in tune. You know what I mean? When you spiritually in tune like that, you get emotional about stuff. Stuff touch you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I forgot what I was gonna say. See, I play too much.
Well, I want to say something. I commend you a lot with really recognizing the type of father that you want to be for your kids and being intentional about how present you are and how involved you are in their lives and trying to guide them in the right direction, because we need a lot more fathers like you. Like it's one thing to just be a dad and okay, you're out here and you a body, you know, but
Right.
the the most important thing is being active and intentionally wanting to be that role model for them, because you don't want them to go out and be a King Von, be their role model,
Right.
right?
And I sure don't want my girls going out and bringing no King Von.
Right, no Megan's and Stallion,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
you know, and then
Right.
being the role model, you know. And I always think about how we are, and I don't know, I'm not talking religious, I'm talking about spiritual, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we go to God and how God, you know, we go to the word and we know something, and whether we know that we're supposed to do it or not, right? But we still have that instilled in us. So if we go out and we know it's wrong, we'll think about it. We won't just
Right.
be super impulsive, you know. It'll be like, okay, well, my dad told me not to do that, so I actually have a choice to go either right or left,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
So that's just that's dope, and I really hope that your kids really see that and respect that, because growing up having, you know, our mom, you know, because our mom, you know, she's the woman, right? So she's
Right.
pretty much our role model, right? And just her being protective of us kind of rubbed on
Overprotective.
us,
It
and we're
seemed like she
overprotective
did
of
a
our
good job.
kids, and it's like, y'all not gonna do this because we had that, but I'm grateful for that because I'm alive and I have friends that are not, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
And that don't
Everybody
mean
got choices.
I'm a perfect dad. I still,
right,
you know, I'm
none of
still
us are
growing and
perfect,
learning. You know what I'm
right?
saying? But as
Nobody is
the older
perfect.
they get, and what's crazy is because my boys, you know, you hope that as a man, you hope your boys is gonna be like you. They go following some of your footsteps and stuff like that. And they got some of the same potentials and talents and stuff that I got, but they just they different. They move more on like this new generation kind of stuff and just
And
be
they all
lazy and just want to
do.
play games and
They
Yeah.
all do. It's
but
not
my
just yours,
girls
honey. It's not just yours.
but my girls is more like me. Like
And usually that's what it is sometimes. I mean, sometimes the girls end up being more like their dad, and it's crazy, you know, but sometimes sometimes it happens.
right.
You
And
know,
that's what
sometimes it
really
happens.
made me realize like, wow, like these are I was like but you know, I was kind of happy at first, like, okay, yeah, my girls is like me. But then I thought about it and was like, oh, I remember what I was doing that day. So
They might not take that.
that could be a good or a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So I got to really pay attention to
Yeah.
what's going on and be in their business. I'm all up in cell phone. I'm all up in what's your Snapchat
That's
business and
real.
everything. I'm trying
And
to
you gotta
Mhm.
be.
take
You
this
gotta
off. You ain't
be.
wearing this and that because they be trying to be grown. They be going over there.
It's
They be
funny.
going over there to Tequila's beauty place, getting the lashes and the hair and
Well,
everything
that's
else.
different. That's different.
It's so different. I
Okay,
like
because
girls.
let them be girls. Okay,
She
that's
got
Right.
some
the
good
thing.
girls. They are so
Yeah,
funny. Like I
that's
was
the
like,
beauty.
I had to ask what I'm like, how old are
Hey,
you?
but
It's 'cause with the glasses, and I was like, they are so funny. Like,
Yeah.
How
No.
old are they?
The ones my young ones that's with me is 14 and 13, and then I have one that just turned 18. She just graduated last school year.
they
Those
have,
wow,
are fun
congratulations.
ages.
they
Those are fun
hilarious.
ages, and those are the ages where they really, really need you. They really,
Right.
really need you, and not like
Yeah.
this, but sitting on the
Exactly.
side of them and having those conversations with them. Like they need those they daddy girls. They
Right.
need those conversations. Okay, you want to have that open
Like,
dialogue with them so they can come to you. You know.
look, because during that age, 13, 14 years old, my father was incarcerated during that time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I needed my daddy then. So
Right.
that's that household piece of the aces, the dysfunctional piece, the loss of a parent. And I'd be like, Daddy, I'm not saying like, you know, like you abandoned us, you know, just whatever occurred,
Just one day.
you know. But I needed my daddy. Like
Right.
I was playing basketball and everything, and I just felt like I know how hard he was on us growing up. Like
Right.
we waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to run the hills and
Oh
freaking
yeah.
we
We was raised
grass.
in a cult.
Your dad was doing
We
that?
respect that.
He was
Oh, your
serious.
dad was
Yes.
like
He was
Venus and
serious
them
about
days.
health.
We had ginger under our tongue, everything. I
Yeah.
said
That
we're in a
root, what's
cult.
the root? The
Like,
ginger root, the root.
all that stuff. But he's healthy.
Yeah, the ginger
like,
root slices that we used to have under our tongue.
He's healthy though. Yeah, the
I
whole
think I
time.
suppressed that memory because
Yeah, we
I'm like,
are.
I'm just.
Well, it paid off because y'all seem like y'all got good heads on y'all shoulders, and
Thank you.
you know, and
Thank you.
you ain't heard, I ain't heard or seen no messy
try.
stuff, so y'all cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We hiding
Yes.
stuff.
We try.
Yeah, I'm sure, but that's how you gotta be. You can't just let everybody see everything.
Mhm.
You gotta have some discreetness about yourself.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true. I want to go into some things in Vallejo. Man, y'all.
Oh, you want to talk about some juicy stuff?
Yeah, well, it's just a trip because I know you grew up. You're from here. You know what I
Right.
mean? What I say now, I say Oakland raised me, Vallejo made me. That's what I say.
That's dope.
Oakland raised me, Vallejo made me.
I
So
respect
I've been
that.
out here for hasn't been 20 years.
Oh, dang.
40 said I was from Vallejo.
Yeah, you from Vallejo now.
He was like, "You from Vallejo?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." But anyways, the violence. I have
It's been 21.
Huh? I have a group. It's a group.
Yeah, 'cause
It's been 21 years.
21 years. Okay.
As long as Tiani has been alive.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Okay. More than half my life. It really is. So our focus is really violence prevention.
Mhm.
So we're so tired of the violence. We're tired of hearing the gunshots around. It's just been this ridiculous. We're just tired of things. So, but I just want to talk about as far as your growth here in Vallejo, things that you have experienced. How many friends? Like, can you think of how many friends you may have lost to gun violence or any kind of crime or anything out here?
Man, to be honest, and I'm gonna keep it real with you,
Yeah.
it's times that, well, to be honest with you, every time somebody I know die, I always go in my mind and try to do a count in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like lost count. I could tell you it's up to probably at least 20, probably more.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Mm.
yeah. And you OG. How old are you?
I'm 43. I'm a young OG.
Okay.
Too young.
Okay.
Too young.
I was looking at these stats. So VPD has the information as far as crime and everything.
Right.
Do y'all know that total shooting victims in 2021 was 382?
In 2021.
Yeah. So that's like homicides,
Wait, how many? Wait, what?
382. Like that's including businesses and damage to property too. Like people shooting and probably hitting people windows and stuff with the gunshots. People don't.
Well, 2020 and 2020 and 21 was like those COVID riot years though too. So it was like real hectic during that period. It was record breaking homicides out here. I think in 2020 it was the most murders in Vallejo in history in that year.
Wow. I wish I had that.
And then the next year it came close to it again. So yeah, those 2 years was real rough out here in Vallejo.
Yeah, and just thinking about the population. So this year, so in 2021, it was 18. It was I ain't gonna say just, but it was 18 homicides. I mean, I'm from Oakland, okay,
Right.
Out of 150 something.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. Like
Before the year is over.
What'd you say?
Before the year is over.
Right. So it's like,
oh yeah, it ain't no joke, man. It's real war zone out there.
Yeah, it really.
But like
is.
you said, for a small town like Vallejo, and what we used to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just not a place. Vallejo is not like a Oakland or San Francisco or whatever. It's just started as a small town. Everybody know each other. It's a certain level of respect, even with your rivals or your enemies or whatever. It's just a certain respect because you might be funking with somebody, but you grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? When you see their parents, they saying hi to you, and you know everybody. So you ain't gonna just be so quick to just want to kill somebody and get down like that. So that just really wasn't the culture out here in Vallejo. We'd go beat somebody up, fight, And every now and then, if it came down to it, it'd be some shooting, but that was most of the time from somebody outside coming in and, you know, doing something. So
Mhm.
just to hear something like that in Vallejo would just show that the culture is changing and that you know, it's just a different Vallejo.
Yeah. And I'm looking at this age group of shooting victims. 0 to 17 is 22. 18 to 29 is 84. 30 to 39 is 79.
Right.
50
And this
plus 88. Like, y'all, come on now.
this is what tripped me out about Vallejo. Not even just now, but even when how I grew up. When I
Mhm,
grew up, the way I grew up, everything seemed normal. That's just the way it was.
mhm,
And then I actually moved to Sacramento when I had my kids.
mhm.
Other than my oldest when I was 16, but when I was older and started having kids, I raised all of them in Sacramento, and it was kind of cool up there. You know that the schools was nice. You had places to take them. You know, it was resources. It was, you know, and I got, you know, they was accustomed to that. But when me and they mom kind of separated, I had to come back to Vallejo, just where I had more family support and, you know, help, stuff like that. So when
Mhm,
I came back to Vallejo and had to put my kids back in school out here, it was
mhm.
like, damn, like that made me realize how rough and how traumatic it was growing up. You know, all the stuff that was normal to me is just, if I couldn't imagine my kids being exposed or going through some of that stuff. And just already just coming back, my oldest
Right.
son, well, not my 18-year-old that graduated 2021, he experienced catching the bus home from school and having somebody get shot right in front of his face, and
Oh, no.
that traumatized
Dang.
him. They
Yes.
survived or whatever, but they shot the dude or whatever. My son said he felt bad. He even had to go across the street and like see if the dude was okay because they shot him and left or whatever, just left the dude.
Oh
So
my gosh. How is your
right,
son
Mm.
doing? How's he doing?
I could tell you he didn't catch the bus no more after that.
See, stuff like that,
Mhm.
man. And how old was he?
This was in during his like junior year.
Mm.
So where did this happen at?
That happened right over there. It was in the paper and stuff because when he told me about it, I went and
Atlanta?
started looking. Yeah, I started looking it up to see if he was
See,
lying.
this is why I promise you.
It happened right over there in the you know where the main bus stops is by the Walmart on the neighborhood Walmart.
Right there on Sereno
Mhm.
Drive.
He
Mhm.
was waiting for a bus at that bus stop, and it happened across the street, like right across the street in that parking lot.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh. Oh, right in
Wow.
Sereno Village?
Yeah, well, he was
Or the
at
Walmart
Sereno Village. It was in the plaza where they got
at the
shot at.
plaza.
Yeah,
Wow.
That is crazy.
Oh,
Listen,
and then it didn't stop there
I
because when he graduated, you know, it was cool because he ended up graduating and he ran into one of his folks when he first moved to Vallejo. It was this one dude that he connected with. And he looked out for him because they was trying to treat my son like he was some Sacramento dude or something. You know how kids be. And when they graduated,
right.
I was able to see them two graduate. So I got pictures of them and everything. Like 2-3 months after graduation, he got killed. You know,
oh
Mhm.
no.
yeah. So it's just like, you know, I
Going
wasn't
off. This
just
is
wasn't used to
traumatizing.
just wasn't used to that kind of stuff, you know. So
I
I
don't
was
like
used to that.
stuff like
I
this.
had friends growing up that was, rest in peace, Daphne, that was kidnapped and had her baby she
Right.
was burned up in her own house and they stole her baby and right
Mm.
across the street from us.
Okay.
You know,
Oh no.
I had friends that been killed by the police since like in like 2004 or 5. And then
Mm.
out of all the ones that have been killed recently, I know like 3 or 4 of them. Like those was my son friends, and just kids. Because I used to have a studio out here in the Crest, so a lot of those youngsters used to come to my studio and do their music and stuff. So I
Mm.
definitely got a lot of ties to a lot of the deaths and a lot of what's going on out here. So that's just what motivated me to try to be some kind of a medium and try to do what I can and try to mend that a little bit.
That's
Mm.
crazy, man. That's why I swear
Right.
when we go backstage, we gonna talk because there's some stuff that I have going on. And I do. I mean, I know you have my back or whatever that I'm doing.
So
But we need to get more people involved because, man, we got to get that's so traumatizing. It's like, really? There need to be services provided. That's like, victims of crime and stuff like that. Like, if you
Right, right.
this man, my homeboy was killed last year in February. He was a coach for the Dynamites in Oakland Dynamites. Got shot. His children saw him die. And it was during football practice. This was my first love.
Yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
I could not believe this. And then another coach just got killed, another football coach. Like, these children are seeing it. It's like, what services are the provided for these children? Because that stuff is traumatizing. This right here, really, looking at, oh my gosh, looking at what this trauma does.
That got me thinking, right? I don't mean to cut you off, but it got me thinking because my boys, right? And it's crazy because growing up and having so many of our friends killed, it's just like, and death becomes kind of like a norm, right, for you. And then for me, I'm just saying off my experience with my kids, having a friend who came to my son's birthday party, beautiful soul, being killed, and then finding that out, and not even thinking like, oh well, like, dang, that's sad, that's really sad. But then thinking like how I register thing is, it's like not even thinking about really how they're really processing this
Right.
with their friend, because I have experienced it so much. My thinking and the way I deal with it is a little bit different than what they maybe have are dealing with it. And it just makes me think like, dang, what I'm saying? I have to revisit that conversation with them and really tip aside them instead of just thinking like, okay, well, it's like, how do you even process that at a young age? I know how I did when I had at a young age when my friends were being killed around me, so it's just having this conversation right now is just making me just really think about revisiting that with them and how they really feel about that, and then processing it, because I don't want them to suppress anything. I want them to deal with it and move past it.
Exactly. Yep. That's very important.
So important. So important.
Yeah.
Yes, Mama Tima.
And it all goes back to the
if I can suggest
with the police. Go ahead, Fatima. I'm sorry. You got a little delay, so you started talking.
No worries. I don't know if my internet gonna break up or not. I was saying, if you guys EMDR, right? It's eye movement, that's a therapy. It's a therapy, and it heals post-traumatic stress disorder. So, the county has a American mental health. I will also share. I don't have my phone right now, but I'll share it on my page. Some different other therapy things, but if you're able to get it, like I'm doing it myself, it's very helpful. Even though you have to like relive like certain events, because it's like you're going back to, but it helps you deal with in such a different manner. Like, and it's very soothing as well. So, I suggest that if people are able to when I have people that's looking for therapy and I ask her for some resources, she said, if they able to pay out of pocket for the EMDR, it's definitely worth it. It's not a every week thing. It's like a every month thing. And you have like 6 sessions that will actually help heal whatever traumatic events that have happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. I actually been doing a lot of healing work, like healing classes and leadership and stuff like that, and dealing with trauma and stuff like that. So yeah, that opens a lot of wounds, and it actually make you realize that, some of the trauma that's been affecting you and impacting you your whole life that you wasn't even aware of, or you was aware of it, but just didn't, like your mom said, sometimes you don't process it in that way. So you don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? So you need help and guidance sometime to help, guide you in how to deal with those kind of situations. But I just wanted to say too, and this I always
Right.
say this, but it's so real. When you talk about the violence in Vallejo, right? All that is like it's almost like created violence. It's like the city is crime pays right now in Vallejo. You know what I'm saying? That's how they've been getting their money. That's how they've been keeping the police paid. That's how all these that's just how they keep the money rotating out here. You know what I'm saying? The more that they could say it's bad out here and we got record breaking this and that, they could keep on dumping money and paying people and doing all this and
But
doing
there's
that.
a plan. There's a plan. I can't wait to talk to
It's
you all.
all structured. So they stripped all our resources away. Like no more clubs, no more. We barely got a little league. I'm actually, let me put this out here now. I want y'all, everybody that's willing to get involved. I put a post out there on Facebook, but I'm so serious. I want to start a community youth community basketball league.
Do it.
My
Can I
son
bring
want
my
to play
kids in
basketball.
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, my
Okay.
son want to play basketball. There ain't nowhere for him to play out here. Everybody in Vallejo got to take their kids out of town, pay all this money to go running all over the Bay Area to games and all that. So we need. I just want to get all of our kids, and we make our own league. And what we could do is have the different organizations like yours, Lando's, whoever, y'all can sponsor it, and the kids could. We'll let the kids play in exchange for participating and getting involved in one of y'all programs or some community service.
It's important. It's so funny. It's good you said that. Like my son, I just put him into flag football. He played flag football.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, that was a dope looking league.
Yeah, so I'm about to put my baby. Well, I already registered him, but it's needed. And the coach, he's from Vallejo. I mean, I heard his story. He spoke to the youth, and it's something good because no contact. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that physical, that hitting the head and all that. I didn't have my son. He like, I want to play football. I'm like, oh, let's watch concussion, so you can see what them football players experience in their head, that trauma. But when I heard about the I would donate 10 basketballs. Oh, Cortez, I love Cortez. Cortez said he would donate 10 basketballs.
Yeah, Cortez is dope.
Yeah, it's important. Yep, Coach Sarton. Yep. So it's important. But yeah, they need to be involved in sports. One person I love so much because he was so serious about putting some fund in. I want to say it's like Measure B funds that we give GVRD. Listen, we about to get some stuff going. Okay, we really are. Because if you have, I'm telling you, playing sports are everything. I don't know who that is. Sports is everything, man. I play basketball. I'm a basketball player. Man, you learn how to get along with other people. You problem solve. Exactly. You know what I mean? You're on teams with people. Y'all all probably be, competing for positions and stuff like that. But the main goal is to win. So no matter if y'all funking or fighting for positions or whatever, when y'all get on that court, we here to win. That's what we're going for, the win. So we don't have to get along on the court,
Right.
So we have to do that. You learn how to, problem solve, unity. You have that coach. You learn how to be coachable. The last team I played for at 34 years old, I went back and played my second year at Contra Costa College. I love this coach. My first coach was Paul DeBoat. Paul DeBoat was amazing. I didn't care. Yes, he hella yelled at us. Like, I mean, that's we listened, That's the way I was coached. Like, being yelled at. And it was a trip because when I went back at 34, it was
all that trauma.
Yeah, right. So, right. No, for real, right? So then when I went back at 34, I'm playing with these youngsters. It's a total different generation. And the coach was different because it was like the players was talking crazy to the coach. And I'm like, man, if this was Paul DeBoat, they would have got their ass out of practice. Off the team. Like, you being so disrespectful. And I'm just sitting there like, you want, like what? But yeah, it's different now. But yeah, Rob, whatever.
Yeah, sports is important, but I think
I got a kid.
Go ahead.
That's acting funny. She said she got a kid.
I got a kid to put on your team, to put on the team.
Oh, yeah,
he want to play basketball so bad, and
I want to get like get at least 4 teams, and they play each other. We get the whole season. And see, what's important about the sports for me is we make sure that we instilling those qualities in our kids. It's not just about trying to get them to be the best, and so that they could go try to play for the Lakers and go to. It's not always about that. It's just
Nope.
about
Right.
sometimes it's just about being your best,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's
Your
being knowing how
teamwork.
to accept that accept your best sometimes, and just know what and learn how to work with what you got. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So so it's some of all that. So I just want to get a league going where we can make sure it's family, it's fun for the family, the kids can play for free in exchange for, like I said, getting involved in some of these Watch Me Grows, you know what I'm saying, and some of these boys and girls empowerments and whatever, and just start pulling the community together.
Yeah.
Because what somebody told me on Facebook that really inspired me, shout out to Stacy Brian Jones. He said what he liked about me was that if it don't exist, I'm willing to create it. And when he told me that was like, you know what? That's what my purpose is right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at now. If I'm not gonna focus on complaining and arguing and cussing everybody out at city council and fussing at the police or whatever.
I ain't got time.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to go back, like I said earlier, be accountable for what you can control, and figure out a way to create it if it don't exist. If that don't create for yourself, if that don't exist, then you create it.
I love her. Those community cleanups do be popular.
Because we in it for ourselves, man. We got to look out for ourselves.
Right. It's like we program to. We program. I ain't gonna go too deep. But go ahead. What was you about to say, Jamila?
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Right. But to look for the help.
I'm sorry, Fatima, because I'll try to be like this, y'all. And like, okay, so when you said look out for ourselves, what were you saying? I ain't trying to argue or nothing. Okay, I'm just clarifying. Like, when you said we gotta look out for ourselves.
Who said that? Fatima?
Yeah. We have to learn how to look out for ourselves. Because always looking for a handout, looking for somebody to save us.
Right.
When we have to step up and save ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, and then I think about, because really it does take a village. Not everybody has somebody, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes people need a push. Sometimes people do need help. It's okay to have those social connections. That's a protective factor. To have social connections, to have concrete support in the time of need, like to be able to know where those resources are so you can get the help that you need, because you don't always have it all together where you could just support yourself and everything. Like, it's okay to ask for help. People need to know it is okay to ask for help. No, I'm not talking. Calm down. Don't get on defensive and stuff. I'm just saying that people
I think I'm very calm right now.
To ask for help. You better ask for help. I'm asking. And when people offer it, oh yes. I never been wanting to ask for people help and stuff. But where God has me at now, I'm telling you, people be like, Jamila, let me know when you need help. I be like, okay. Like, I'll let you know. I don't know when it is, but I know I'm gonna need you. And then I'm seeing with all the connections that I'm making, God is like, this person is for that. This person is for that. And I'm like, God, guide me and lead me. It could be a year later and I'm contacting the person. You know what? This is where I need you at.
Right. And you know what? And a lot of that is based on the God-given talents and person that you are. You know what I'm saying? Because prayer without works ain't nothing. You feel me? So if you ain't putting in no work and you ain't out there putting in no effort, then you just can't expect God to just, like Fatima was saying earlier, you just can't expect God to just come and just answer your prayers just because you begging him and you complaining. If you ain't putting no effort into trying to do something for yourself, then your prayer is useless. You feel me? So you got to be accountable for trying to put in the work too. You feel me?
Yeah. We about to. I'm so proud of Lando. I'm so proud of my brother. I could cry right now. I'm so proud of him.
Do not start crying.
I'm not. I'm so proud of him. Like, I'm just saying, like, Valeo's going to
blaming it.
Like,
I'm gonna be working a lot with Lando. I'm gonna be working a lot with Lando so we can get it cracking back, get it cracking on another level. Lando is like a big brother to a lot of us in the press.
Yeah.
I grew up under Lando when he was younger, under the younger Lando. So I go back with Lando, and he was doing stuff for us back then and looking out for us just on the street level, big
Oh.
brother level too. So
Yeah.
it's and his daughter, that the one that passed, rest in peace, Latoya. That's my blood cousin. He had that he had her with my cousin. So that's
Okay.
like that's my family. So we go work. We got stuff working together.
That's what's up, man. Like, yeah, and people gotta understand, man. This stuff, the collaboration stuff, the partnership stuff. People need to understand. I love how people are able to, and I'll just speak for myself, able to put stuff aside. You know what I mean? A little petty stuff or whatever like that. It really is just coming together, working towards something. We want to see our youth thrive. That's what we want to see. We all have Vallejo kids. I'm from Oakland, okay? Oakland. I got a Vallejo kid. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a homeowner here in Vallejo.
I
I
got
want to
three.
make sure that my son is set up, man. Like, he ain't gonna be, man. We are not about to be having no problems with Vallejo parents. Y'all better get y'all kids. Period. Get y'all kids.
Yeah. And that what you said is a big problem with Vallejo. People don't want to put their petty stuff to the side.
Mm-hmm.
People be cool with you, and then I ain't never did nothing wrong by you. I could have helped you and everything, but then if you see me talking to so and so, you don't want to deal with me no more.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be just over a lot of little petty stuff, and that always tripped me out about with me and you, and I know you don't like hearing this. Every time I tell the story, your face get turned up. But when me and Jamila first met, we met cussing each other out. Like literally.
She started it. I
ain't gonna go into what it is because that was.
He found the right one that day, huh? He found the right one that day.
We was going at it at each other, but it didn't take long. It didn't take long until us going at it to figure out, like, you know what? You sound like you a real one. I'm a real one. You feel me? We figured that out quick, and it just like we was able to move past that, and it's been nothing but respect and love ever since then. So I like that we was able to be grown and do that, and that's the kind of examples that we got to set for our kids. Like, you can't expect them to not beef and not funk with each other when their mamas and daddies can't even speak to each other because they don't know how to solve their problems about whatever they going through. You ain't teaching your kids how to solve problems and put petty stuff to the side. You funking with somebody else too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, did you see, Rob? I hope you be a part of this alternative to violence project. I really hope you do. So everybody that's listening right now, really, there's a nonprofit that's called Watch Me Grow Inc. Okay, they are doing amazing work in Vallejo. They're not talking about it; they're about that action. Okay, because the founder is from Oakland, California. So we are really in the process of creating facilitators for this alternative to violence project. So you learn how to problem solve. You learn how to express yourself effectively without having to choose violence. You don't always have to choose violence. So the workshop is 3. It's 3. 9/17, 9/24, and October 8th. And I will be sure to drop the flyer in the chat. But man, I'm telling y'all, we need as many people. Something I'm partnering up with and collaborating with VPD. I maintain Boys and Girls Empowerment Group, Dove. I don't have it on the website yet. The Solano Probation Department. Like, we are serious about reducing violence. Violence cannot be just. I mean, some can be prevented, I guess, but it can't be reduced. And so we as adults have to be the examples. We have to model the behavior we want to teach.
Right.
We can't sit up there and be telling our kids, don't be violent or don't do this, don't do that. And we,
Right. And let me put this out there too for all the Vallejoans that be hating on the out of towners that come in and do their thing.
Transplant, I'm a transplant.
And then get to talking about I'm from Oakland and all that. Like, we gotta I respect that because y'all coming right. Like you and Cassandra James from Frisco, y'all coming right. Y'all came. Y'all raising y'all kids out here and y'all embracing and accepting that this is where y'all at. And you got to, y'all doing stuff that people should have been doing out here. You feel me? So, and I'm not going to say that to clown nobody, but when you got people that's coming from bigger cities, like you said, and that got more resources, that kind of deal with things on a bigger level, y'all know how to move a little different than we know how to move. So I embrace, y'all that's coming in, when y'all come in right and respect the city, and y'all respect that y'all here and that y'all want to make it better. Then let's build together. It don't, this is where we at now.
I don't want no problems, all right? I ain't doing nothing to nobody, all right? I don't want no problems, all right? Yeah, so somebody said, join me, don't judge me. I'm trying to think about who said that. Was that Lamont that said that? I think it was. But look, I don't want no problems. Get to know me, okay? I'm so cool. I'm so solid. Like
I wanted to set up something like that, just a nice little retreat, like a nice little half a day thing, cater it up real nice, and just invite all our people, our leaders, everybody that's funking with each other, everything, and we make people sit there and have to get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you get to know a person, you feel me, you go respect them. When you understand where they're coming from, you understand what they stand on versus just what you see from the outside. Because you don't know what people was going through. You don't know what they've been through. You just don't know. So you can't just be so quick to judge somebody and react on something somebody might have did or said. Everybody ain't perfect, but take the time to get to know a person. You feel me? And see. Right. And half of the people that you think that you don't like is going to end up being your best friend.
Listen, I'm so fun.
Right. Because we have similarities. We have a lot of similarities when we get to know each other.
Right. Sometimes you're too similar. That's why y'all
don't know if you don't have the conversation.
Exactly. Listen. So I just want to start opening that platform up. Like, it's too much divide. Vallejo was too small for that. Let's start getting to know each other, and before we just start saying who we don't like and who we ain't messing with. Like, you don't even know that person.
Right. I was just about to say, you don't even know me. You don't know me. You don't know me. But thank you for that, Rob. Hopefully, I tell you the vision that I see for Vallejo's gonna be all right. I really have hope in Vallejo. If I didn't, I would not have never purchased a house in Vallejo, in North Vallejo. Like, really? Like, I could have went to Sassoon or somewhere. But I really do have hope in Vallejo. Like, I really do. Being from Oakland, like I said, I was raised in Oakland. When my mom moved out here, I was like 19 years old. I'm 39 now.
Right.
I know I was 18. I was 18. But even then, I was in the lower bottoms, so it wasn't that many resources out there at all. Like, I went to school in Emeryville, so Emeryville had like a recreation center, but I don't remember West Oakland. I don't remember the bottoms having anything, but yeah, we go.
Was you looking for resources?
Oakland always has something. Oakland always had little
resources,
performance art centers, and all that. They had multiple little leagues going on. They had the Oakland Dynamites, they had the Oakland Saints, they had the Oakland such and such. You know what I'm saying? We played against all of them, so we just had our one team. Oakland had about 4 or 5 different teams, so they just.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's just on a bigger scale. That's
all. We lived in Oakland. No, where were you going to school? Like, you went to Emeryville.
I was at Emory.
You went to Emory. We were in West Oakland. We went to school in what is it, Peel Hill?
Bougie. I'm bougie.
Yeah, we were. Street Academy was where, Fatima?
West
Oakland.
And West Oakland.
North Oakland.
Probably North Oakland. Peel Hill.
No, it's Peel Hill. It's on 29. It's in West Oakland.
Tequila look out for my girl so much. I gotta just say shout out to
Tequila. That's why I want to stop and shout out, because y'all know she Oakland too. Okay. So y'all we try to do good. Oakland is in Vallejo really trying to do good. Okay, y'all.
Well, Oakland and Vallejo always been like this.
Yeah.
We always been. Man, I grew up
too short from Oakland, y'all.
I grew up in Oakland too. soon as we was able to drive and getting our license in our cars and stuff, where
Hit
you
the
think
strip.
we was at? We was in Oakland at whoever cousin house we knew, wherever we was coming through, and we was finding where the side shows was at. We was go find what club was popping, what was at the Oak Tree, Jeffries, if we trying to get in Sweet Jimmy's, whatever.
We done ran into each
what was
other.
it? The
We're the same,
Caribbean.
Ron. I'm saying, I'm looking at
All
him
that.
like I know him from somewhere. I
Yeah,
promise.
we
I
used to
was
be
in here
through
like,
Oakland. Like we used to be out there, and they always loved us. They used to see us so much that they, and you know, Vallejo people, we always got to make it a point to let you know, like, we from Vallejo. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, people kind of didn't want to respect you. Like, yo, you from Vallejo? You ain't even from the Bay. So we made sure they knew where we was from, and every time they used to see us, the OGs to everybody, oh, they go to Young Vallejo. What's up, Young Vallejo? Like,
when we were younger, Vallejo seemed so far away, right?
Right.
It seemed so far away from Oakland, right? We was like, we can't get to Vallejo because y'all don't have a bus or anything that goes straight there.
I remember my cousin Mac Dre, when Mac Dre first went to jail. Me and my cousins, we was up there telling one of my other cousins about Mac Dre. And we rapping lyrics to him and stuff, and they like, oh yeah, we from Oakland. We don't listen to that kind of stuff or whatever.
Mac Dre.
Yeah, back then, if they wasn't messing with Mac Dre back then, though, they was like hating on him. And then so that was a trip that how big he got in the Bay.
You gotta have that brand. I'm trying to think. You would say Imani put me on the Mac Dre. I'm doper than a Bobby Brown piss test.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
the lyrics.
His radio song. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, like before he went to jail in the early 90s and stuff, when he was first popping or first coming out, they wasn't really respecting him like that.
Because they didn't know music.
I mean, they respected him, but they didn't want to show him no love like that.
Right.
He wasn't Mac Dre that we know him of. They was like I said, oh, that's one of them Vallejo. You know.
Right.
No. Let me tell you, when he was supposed to be at the Oakland Coliseum, that when he died, I was so mad. I was so excited to go to that concert to see Mac Dre, and he passed. I was working at Denny's on Sonoma Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe it when I heard that he passed. I was mad because I did want to see him, but his lyrics, like that man, he
was like another big brother for us out here in the Crest.
Yeah.
He used to be right across the street all the time, coming over. I was a little kid. He used to come over here and talk about my dogs, because my mom used to always get dogs. Like, she'd find a dog that might be mixed with anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they was in the pit bulls and stuff and all that, so they'd come see my dogs and be like, what kind of dog is that? Mm-hmm. Oh, you got a dumb dog or whatever, just messing with me or whatever.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, we grew up with under Mac Dre and all of them, so yeah, definitely influenced us. But even Mac Dre was like he was an activist in his own right too. He was funking with the police back then and
was he?
all that, yeah. He had a song called Punk Police, and he was calling out police by names and all that, and it got ugly.
They still around? I wonder if they're still around. I wonder if I'm gonna go listen to that song.
Well,
yeah. I want to know.
One of them was still around. One of them name was Nickelman or something like that. Detective Nickelman or something. And I think Niccolini, the older Niccolini was around back then too.
I'm hoping everything's gonna be all right in Vallejo. I really have hope for Vallejo. We are gonna do what we can to reduce the crime, the violence. It's just a community. With everything that Watch Me Grow Inc. is doing, you could put the website if you want to, Iman. We're serious about community building. I mean, y'all saw the resource fair. You was at the resource fair. How was it, Rob?
Oh, it was magnificent. It was awesome. The first one that I went to, was that the first one last year?
Yeah, the first one was last year.
The first one was cool too, but this one, I don't know. It was just a nice environment. Like the kids came and had fun. They got their faces painted, did 360 videos and all kind of stuff. So they enjoyed it. We were able to make a whole day out of it.
Look, shout out to Kaiser. Shout out to Bear Island Company. Shout out to the Boys and Girls Empowerment Group. Like, it really was some amazing things that was able to happen with Kaiser and Mare Island sponsorship. Like, and then we have private donors too. You know, those are my little secret people. I don't tell people who's sponsoring, that's who's funding, that's donating. Um, but it was a success, and I really believe all my brothers. I love my brothers here in Vallejo. The men that really reach out, like, look, I want to support what you're doing. I appreciate that more than anything. I swear I do, because I
Right.
love black men who do not see black women as a threat. That's what I love. I love black men that see a woman that is trusting a woman to lead. That's what I love. And don't try to tear her down. Don't try to, don't want her to lead. Don't want her to be in front. Like try to take his shine or something. You know, I love the black men. I have a problem with black women leading. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to Rob, to Barbara Jerome, to Donald Long, to Orlando Graham, to Cortez Quinn, to all y'all black men that's in Vallejo, or just black men, period, that do not have a problem with black women leading. Thank you for trusting black women. Thank you.
No problem.
So much.
The women is on the forefront right now. Like the women is leading right now. Period.
Man.
Like all across the
Give
board.
birth to y'all.
For real. It's like the age of the woman right now.
Man.
People better get on the boat.
Rob, can I?
Did you say something?
Rob, what's one piece of advice that you would give to a child growing up in
a little dosey. It was like, you look so weird. Go ahead. Dad, I gotta go.
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
Sorry.
Timmy, you
what's one piece of advice that you would give a child growing up in Vallejo?
Don't be afraid to be who you are. Like Vallejo, sometimes Vallejo is so small, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate to say this, but it's a lot of small minds in Vallejo. And you know, people is afraid to think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you coming up in Vallejo, you go feel like you gotta be a certain way or follow certain trends or whatever to be accepted. But really, you know, we need more trailblazers out here. You know what I'm saying? We need more leaders. We need more examples of something different. You know what I'm saying? So and so don't be afraid to just be you. You know what I'm saying? You could be cool without trying to be what other people think is cool. Like be, you know, I always was myself. I always tried to be different in some kind of way. And I learned that, you know, just being you and standing on who you are is what's gonna make people respect you and just accept you.
You know what I'm thinking about? So are you the only boy?
I have a brother I never met.
But you're the oldest. So
yeah,
in your
I'm
household,
the oldest,
you're the oldest. Because I swear, because it's a book that I'm reading. Your birthplace really makes a difference with your personality and everything. And I was talking to Lamont about this last week. Really, if people really think about it, men who are like, and women too, if you're the only child or you're the oldest, it's like this sense of belonging. We all have this sense of belonging, right? But it may be higher, you know, it may be at a different level because, you know, you want to be included in stuff, which is okay. It's okay to be included. That's fine. That's why you have people who have, that's why I thank God for, I mean, I'm a baby girl. My sister's 3-4 years older than me. But I had basketball, and I had my basketball team, and that made me feel included. I knew everybody because of basketball. I took it serious. I was raw, real raw in basketball. So I got a lot of respect from men and everything because I always challenged men. I didn't play. I like playing girls with girls. I don't play with you. I'll serve you. You want to bet? But I love playing against men and challenging the males. You know.
Right, and that's the thing about Vallejo too. That's how we made our name. Is from trailblazers like that. Everybody was different. He 40. He was different. He rapped different. He dressed different. Mac Dre rapped different. He dressed different. You know what I'm saying? We just that's how, you know, you got to be different. Don't be afraid to be yourself. That's who we are in Vallejo. We come different. We don't gotta follow what they doing in Oakland and what they doing in San Francisco and
Hold down
Richmond.
now. Hold
We could be
on.
what Vallejo is. We'll show them what this Vallejo is about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Vallejo's different. Vallejo's different. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But it's okay to have some Oakland transplants. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all Bay Area. We all connected and all kind. We all the same, really.
That's
We
true.
all grew up on the same stuff and
Right.
with family here. Everybody got family here and there. We all went to the same things. We all went to Pier 39 and Fisherman's Wharf and
Right.
Jack London Square and the East
Right.
End. We've been there. So it's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you for coming
Right.
on.
I don't think you told. Can you tell us all that you do? Because I don't think he said what he.
It didn't. Calm down, Fatima. Okay. We get
Okay, well.
Thanks.
Well, you're right. I should have said that though.
Sorry, that was me. I did bad with intro.
I don't like to title myself as nothing specific. I'm just a community activist. And I try to be revolutionary in my approach. Like I try to find a way, like I said, to create things that don't exist and try to outsmart. You know what I mean? I feel like if you outgun in a war, which they got all the guns, they got all the resources, all the money, the only way you go win that war is to outsmart somebody. So you got to find a way to go around, and so that's just who I am. So I'm trying to just be an example for the community, help build the community, just be an activist out here. So I've been focusing a lot of my attention to the youth. I'm working at the Boys and Girls Club now in Vacaville. So I'm one of the site supervisors up there. That's dope. I wish I could have been doing that out here in Vallejo, but the dope thing about it is their club was founded by the boys club that was from Vallejo. So and they actually think they're looking to expand back to Vallejo. So hopefully I could play a part in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's things is lining up. So I'm just trying to build this community up and just be a leader, be one of the leaders out here in Vallejo that's gonna push us forward. So I get out there and I talk my ass. I go out and expose stuff and whatever. That's how I got people to like me and people to kind of like, I don't want to say follow, but that's how I got people to kind of get behind me and support me because you never know what might come out my mouth, but I'm gonna speak my truth. And if I got your back, I got your back.
I want to know who asked this question.
Right.
You can ask me what I think about him. He's my little neighbor. I love him.
I love him.
Russell.
Yeah,
go get that bag. No, but not even just that. That's just something that just everybody knows. Young man, serious.
He's a different breed though, because his mind is on something else, and we got to start bringing him out to some of these events.
I tried to get him. He got this is what I love about him. Like he putting all his friends on. Like even with his record, and I really did. I paid a good amount of money for this one record that he put out. He did it in his backyard, and I was watching it and everything.
Yeah, I seen that.
He did it in a whole day, and I spent some money on that just because I wanted to support him. I want to support what he is doing.
Right.
The things that he said, if people listen to it. I mean, he did be cursing, That's the only thing that be getting me. I was like, dang, can I have some bleep bleeps or something like that? But he is so dope. The way that his mind is set up is like,
what's so dope about him is he able to rap like that and make these youngsters like it. Like that's when I stopped rapping. When people didn't care about what you were saying no more, and it was just about that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm not rapping no more. Like, so for him to be able to still rap like that and have some real content and stuff like that and make people and still be able to be the most he probably the most popular rapper from Vallejo right now.
He probably he should be the most popular rapper, period.
Right.
Like I have a problem with him not having 1 million views every video that he drops. LaRussell is raw, y'all. Like he is so y'all hear the stuff he say, like, how did you come up with that?
Wow.
Well, when anybody out there with connections to LaRussell, man, link him in with the people. Link him in with us.
All you gotta do is go to Good Company his goodcompany.com is spelled like good company. Okay. But look, this is what I love about what he does. Like you pay whatever you want for stuff. Whatever you want. When you buy his CD, pay whatever you want. Y'all support him. Don't be paying no $1, $5. Like really support what he's doing. Like he is really I could see him as somebody really wanting somebody giving back to his community. He don't seem like a selfish person at all. Will
And
y'all hear him?
I actually think he is somebody that we could actually do a big show, and it shouldn't be no problem.
Listen, I
I'm
tried.
looking at his stuff right now. Yeah,
He is
I
a big
need that
person.
energy.
His energy is currency. That when y'all listen to this young man, y'all gonna be like, really? Like y'all not gonna want to get off his Instagram. Like he really be dancing and he just. I be like, is he serious? And he performs in his backyard. Like
He
smart.
sound like he's from the East Coast.
Right, he be talking his ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me Jay-Z.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
he is
real
himself, but I'm just saying, like,
real lyricist.
yeah, real lyrical.
he gonna blow up. Like he better blow up. Like if people don't get behind him to support him and push him, the stuff that he talks about, you be like, whoa, like, and it is, and it's like we gotta look at cursing a certain way, different way. I don't know. He do curse in there and he use the nigga word a lot and everything, but the stuff that he says, it really is just like
Poetry.
It really is.
This is poetry.
He's so raw.
His delivery is poetry.
Yeah.
Let his nuts go. But yeah, so thank you, Rob.
I've been popping on your thing. I've been getting all kind of little new friend requests.
You get a lot of friend requests. I'm taking funny. That's how I be. This is exposure and stuff. You know what I mean? People
Right.
meet you, connections. That's important. You know, it's all good. It's important. Y'all got anything? Got any last thing you want to share? We're gonna bounce off.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice
Thank
meeting
you
you
for
as
sharing.
well. Appreciate y'all having me, and I appreciate all of you guys being, here. It's a dope interview, y'all. It was a dope energy and everything. I feel like I didn't say enough, but we said, it's never enough. I could talk all day.
Oh yeah. It's all good. What you think?
I know, I feel the same way. But Rob, okay, so Rob, you have
wait a minute, Fatima. Our guest was still talking. Don't cut him off like that. No, you can wait. What you saying, Rob?
I said I don't like to toot my horn about stuff that I do and stuff like that. So I didn't want to just like be sounding like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and whatever.
Cool.
I just followed. I just wanted to follow whatever your questions I had.
All right, Gary. Well, we need the invite too. Okay, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about the invite. I got invited too. Okay, I got invited too. I didn't make it, but I got invited too. I'm just playing, Garrett. Love you. Okay, go Fatima. What you gonna say?
Rob, your menu. Do you have something every week, or is it like how often do you cook and sell your meals?
I started cooking like about a year ago, and I always would cook and post stuff, and people just always was curious. So I started putting some plates out there. People was liking them, so I sold them, and I was doing it at least once a month at one time. But then I just got kind of overwhelmed. But everybody been asking me to do it. So I just did it again just to see if people still responding to it and if people still want it. And I got a pretty good response. So I'm gonna be doing it more occasionally now. So yeah, I'll be having some food. Probably at least I'm gonna shoot for twice a month. And the menus change.
Yeah, because it is a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it'd be overwhelming. I had my kids in here like they was at a real production spot. Putting one of them putting the stuff in the containers, and the other one over there putting the lids on at another table, and one of them packing the bags. Yeah, we had a real production going on.
Assembly line, right?
All right, well, we will be sure to support your food and everything. Thank you for Thank you for joining us today. I feel like it was. Thank you. This was great. This was great. This was great. Everything you shared.
Yeah.
This was great. Like we will love
y'all be seeing more from me and hearing more from me. I got a lot of things going on, so.
Okay.
But actions speak louder than words sometimes, so that's another reason why I don't like talking too much about what I do. I like for people to see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I be talking a lot. I don't care because I can back it up. That's
right.
So, all right, y'all.
All right. Well, y'all have a good night.
Don't be wait, Rob. You need to slow down.
I thought you was trying to kick me off just a minute ago.
Slow down.
Okay, I'm.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody tuning in. Please be sure to like, love, share, tag someone. We have these discussions every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. We want to give a shout out and welcome back our sister Yvonne.
Welcome back.
This is such a great comeback. This is so great. You got breathing.
All right, Rob. All right, everybody. Have a good night. See you next Wednesday.
Peace.